Investor Intelligence provides general information only. You should consider seeking independent advice to see how this information relates to your unique circumstances. Please refer to the terms and conditions available at investorintelligence.com.au for more.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Investor Intelligence, brought to you by the team at the Property Mentors. It's your weekly podcast for all things investment. Back with me again is one of our senior property mentors and also the mentor team leader for this week's episode, Malika Kingwell. Welcome back, Malika. It's been a while.
Oh, it has been, hasn't it? Thanks for having me, Phoebe.
Of course. I think the podcast was only about 6 weeks old last time you were on, so it was only a baby then.
Oh my goodness, it's gone quick, hasn't it?
It has. And that episode we did on, that was on Dreams, Dates and Dollars.
Yeah.
I must say that was actually one of our most popular episodes. We got a lot of feedback about that one, about how people found that incredibly helpful.
That's fascinating. I'm flattered. Thanks, guys.
So, Malika, I've brought you back today to talk about how you approach goal setting sessions, which are otherwise known as coaching calls with your members. And within that, I want to discuss goals and kind of the importance of having clear goals in order to have a successful investment portfolio. Because as both you and I know, a lot of people have really similar overall goals, but once you dig that little bit deeper, everyone has very specific goals, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's goals are different. You know, it's easy to say, hi, I want to retire in 35 years and I want to match the current income I am earning. Actually, I shouldn't say everyone, the majority of people would have that goal. However, there is so many, once you dig deeper and deeper, there is so much more involved around that goal and the why. The why is so important when it does come to goal setting, understanding your why and knowing your why.
So what difference does it make to actually have a set of goals alongside when building your property portfolio, as opposed to just sort of winging it?
Huge difference. It's like anything, you know, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So whether it be building and growing your investment portfolio, whether it be you've got a new fitness goal that you want to achieve, or you're wanting to go and study and learn something new, whatever the scenario is, you've always got a goal to get to. And the same is when you're investing in property. Why would you not have a goal? You know, you're not just going to go in there blind and start investing in property without a plan and goals that you want to reach. Let's compare it to fitness goals. So Phoebe, I guess my question to you is, if you came to me and said, hey, Malika, I want to up my fitness level. I want to get fitter. I want to go and run the London Marathon next year because I've always wanted to go to Europe as well as run a marathon. I'm going to kill two birds in one stone. I would say that is fantastic, Phoebe. How are we going to get you to be in a fitness position to run this marathon? And how are we going to also get you to London? Do you see what I'm coming at with here? So you've got to put in that training, that planning, that time and that effort into doing your fitness in order to be able to complete the marathon without losing a leg. As well as you've also got another goal alongside that you want to go to London and you want to go to Europe. How are you going to get to Europe? You need to start saving. How are you going to start saving? You're going to start planning. You've got a goal and you're planning and you're aiming to reach that goal.
So basically, this is in no way a let's just hope for the best way to approach it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. So you've worked with many members in, I'm trying to think of a word that's appropriate for your career, illustrious career as a property mentor. Now, as I said before, the mentor team leader. But initially, how do you approach a goal setting session with your members?
Yeah, great question, Phoebe. So similarly to my last podcast that we did, when I discussed dream states and dollars with you and you asked me a bit about that, it's the same process. I follow that same dream states and dollars process when it comes to setting goals. You know, dream, what's the goal? The dates, when do you want to achieve that goal? The dollars, how much do you feel like you need for that goal? So it's that same sort of process, and we work backwards from that as well, in order to sort of help you come up with the longer term plan for investing purposes or property investing purposes.
Yeah, and having those goals would make it so much easier because you know exactly what you're aiming for. You're not just kind of, as I said before, sort of hoping for the best with this stuff. You're really trying to, you know, if you set that goal and then work backwards, even that is kind of the start of setting a plan and a structure.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, you've got those goals, you're working backwards from them, you know, sort of step by step, and it's important. It's so important to have a goal and an aim, something to sort of work towards.
Here at The Property Mentors, we have decades of experience investing in property. We know what to look for and what kind of impact it can have on your portfolio. We have access to brokers, accountants, and property managers to make sure your portfolio performs. Visit thepropertymentors.com.au to learn more.
And I can kind of speak to this too now because I'm actually someone undergoing this or these coaching sessions and this goal setting journey with yourself as we speak. And I'm not going to lie, it was actually more overwhelming than I thought it would be. And I mean that in the best possible way. You know, it turns out it can be quite an emotional process trying to figure out what you're aiming for, why you really want to set yourself up. And I think I even shed a little tear at some point, if I'm quite honest. But do you find that's quite a common thread for people to not only be sort of surprised to figure out what their goals are when you dig that little bit deeper, but that it can be quite confronting for them?
Absolutely. Every time. There's never been a time with any of my members, as well as myself, you know, when we've sat there and we've gone through our goals and we've really dug deep to find out what those goals are. And like I said at the beginning, the why that you're wanting to achieve those goals. You know, when I did it, Phoebe, I was the same. I sort of had a bit of a, I suppose, a breakthrough. I suppose it felt like a breakdown, but it was certainly a breakthrough because, you know, you're digging so deep. And when you start understanding what you want to achieve and the goals that you want to achieve and the reasons why, sometimes they could be some pretty sort of emotional scenarios. You may have experienced something, you know, growing up, maybe, for example, and seen a certain lifestyle and you've thought, I don't want that to be for me. I want to make sure that I'm put myself in maybe a slightly different situation. And that's why I think a lot of the times it can be confronting, but it's exciting. It's so exciting. And I can guarantee once you've done it and once you've had that breakthrough, just similarly to yourself and to myself as well, you'll feel fantastic. You'll feel absolutely fabulous.
I think one of the reasons they're a little bit confronting is because you go in thinking that you've got one goal and you kind of don't realize what the real goal is maybe until you're in that coaching session. So that can be confronting because it's almost the first time you're sort of coming to terms with what it really is.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. You come in thinking I want, you know, A, B, and C, and you leave finding out actually it was X, Y, and Z.
So how do you help people overcome that part?
Yeah, to be honest, patience and time, and taking it slowly and step by step. You know, for some people it may be not as a difficult or daunting task as it may be for others. Not that it's daunting, but you know, something that they can do maybe a little bit faster than others. Some people might know exactly what they want already, and then you can dig deeper on a couple of meetings together, a couple of sit down coaching calls together. And they already know their why, and we've got there. For others, it can take up to, you know, 3 or 4 sessions. So just patience and following the process of dream states and dollars, and just thinking for your own self. And we just slowly work together in order to sort of help you work out those goals and the whys behind them.
And surely just setting goals in itself is actually something that would put everything into perspective and be a little bit more comforting.
100%, very comforting. And it's just aligning, isn't it? It's important to align your goals, and it's productive. You'll feel productive and you'll feel satisfied. You'll feel proud of yourself, and you'll have a direction that you want to sort of aim towards.
What about in which their goals have had to maybe evolve or adapt over the course of you working with them?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And I think because you have sat down and worked out what those longer term goals are that you want to achieve, you're still on the right road to get to those goals, right? And you're still on the right pathway to get to that end result. But something might happen and you might just need to take a left turn and go the slightly longer route instead of the initial right turn that you'd planned to get to that end destination. And it can be for so many different reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, you might end up deciding to move to a different city and needing to put things on hold. You might get a promotion in work. So again, you might have to go off overseas to do a course. You might decide you want to take a sabbatical, or you might start your own family and you're heading on your maternity leave in the next 12 months. So all of these things and these life events will happen, and it's normal for those to happen. But if you've done that goal setting and you've done it right for you, you will still reach those goals. And it's just ensuring you're prepared to, take a different turn here and there, and maybe jump over a hurdle every now and then and walk through a puddle. But
and that's another reason to have a mentor, not only to set out that plan at the start, but also to be there so that if things do change, you're there to still guide them through that. And that's why you have those ongoing coaching calls.
Yeah, it's hand-holding throughout the whole time. Yeah.
So Malika, to wrap us up today, what would you say your key piece of advice is for someone who's just about to embark on an investing journey?
I would say, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but it is the goal setting. Start off with goal setting. Get those goals set and start aligning those goals to what you want to achieve. And then from there, you can navigate how to sort of get to them.
Yeah, and just get really honest with yourself. Get ready to be very honest with yourself.
Definitely. You've got to be ready and prepared to be honest with yourself and your mentor. It's really important you are honest with your mentor when it comes to setting your goals and your life journey as well as you're working together over the years, because your mentor is there to guide you and navigate you and get you to that end destination that you are wanting to get to. Without that open honesty relationship with your mentor, they're not going to be able to help you get there. So, lean on them, lean on your mentor, lean on your support system, lean on your team. That's what they're there to do, is to help you and in those moments and keep you accountable for those goals that you've set yourself as well.
So you guys are kind of like a GPS in a way.
Yeah, we certainly try our best. Actually, funny you just said that and compared us to that, because I often use an analogy to a lot of my members, and any of my members listening will probably laugh because they've heard it many times before. But essentially, your mentor, or we are your GPS. You've gone in there and you've typed in your end destination. We are navigating you to that end destination, but you're the driver and your foot is on that accelerator. So we will go any pace or any route that you wish to take to be able to get you to that end destination. So that's my analogy of a property mentor.
I love that. Malika, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to our next coaching call.
Thank you, and I cannot wait either, Phoebe. Thanks for having me.
If you found this episode or any of our episodes helpful, please make sure to share and leave a rating to help us reach more people on their investing journeys. And of course, subscribe to be notified when new episodes drop. Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram @Investor Intelligence Podcast. You can find links to our other socials in the show notes, including a link to the Property Mentors weekly blog. If you're ready to get your property portfolio in shape for financial freedom, check out Luke's latest book, Property Fit. You can get yourself a copy at www.propertyfitbook.com.au.